Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, and I'm joined in living color by Jeff.
Hey, man, I got Littlefoot here.
Yeah.
Beamer Raji, they got my back. Got the banner of drafting over here.
Yeah.
Got my Cat Dad shirt on.
Oh, look at you.
It's a good day to be back in the House of Draft
It is.
after
It is.
3 months or so.
Yeah, and speaking of, and I saved it just so when we were recording, I'm handing Jeff a Christmas gift.
You got to watch on the YouTube. I've been wanting a dildo. That's right. You did say you had something for me last time we spoke. What is Earl Grey tea? Delicious Earl Grey tea. I do like an Earl Grey.
He's a tea drinker.
I am a tea drinker.
But I don't know how that works now that you've self-imposed.
Trust me. Don't worry. Oh, my God. These are like high-end French
That's
Earl Grey.
French Earl Grey.
That's what the French drink.
That's what the French drink. All right.
Dildo.
I mean, you can improvise with
And
the jars.
I am set on tea. Thanks, Mark.
So a merry belated Christmas.
Thank you. That's very thoughtful.
It's been sitting here in the draft studio for a while, just waiting on Jeff to come back.
I had a gift for you, and I forgot to bring it. So tune in 1 month.
Sure.
I will give Mark his belated Christmas gift.
It's fine.
No, I did. It's there.
It's okay. It's okay. You now have time to go out and get me one.
Well, I already have it. It's the thing. The only thing that kept me from bringing it was my brain.
Ah, got you. Anyways, we have to plug some music this month, and this is our
Final week 5.
This is week 5 of February, which is crazy, considering February
Like,
is the shortest month of the year.
I think it's like a very limited chance that would happen, right? Like that a Thursday in February would fall on Leap Day.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of worked out.
It did work out. So we want to plug the music this month, and the music this month is brought to you by the one-man band, Troy Doherty. Hey, he goes by Troy on all his social media and his art. Oh, that's good. That was a good one. He goes by Troy, and the song is Gemini. So make sure you hit the show notes so you get the links to all his social media accounts. Jeff is looking to store his.
You really miss a lot if you don't watch the YouTube.
I just see he's doing this shit with his.
There we go.
All right. So anyways, hit the show notes. Get all the links to Troy Doherty's social media accounts. He's doing big things. Give him a like, follow, and a subscribe. We appreciate him allowing us to use his music here on the podcast. Jeff.
Hey, man.
What did we just get done watching?
We just watched from the year it came out, because I don't, for various reasons, when we record like this and I forget to bring my gift for Mark and my laptop, I don't have all the information in front of me, but it stars Amy Adams as well as Adam Scott.
2012.
It's 2012.
Yep.
There we go. It was called Leap Year. And listen, we had big brains, and we said, hey, we're going to record on Leap Day, or not record on Leap Day, but
this episode
the
comes
episode
out.
releases on Leap Day.
Right.
And we should watch Leap Year. Then we based the whole month around that, came up with the worst theme of all time. And here we are watching Leap Year. And I think I had proposed maybe we should watch it every February 29th. But after watching it, I'm going to say, how about every year that we have a Leap Day recording release? That way it's like once every 30 to 40 years.
Listen, in the year 2070 when we're still doing this podcast.
I'm going to, I can't do it because I'd stop recording, but if I had
please don't touch your phone.
Yeah. If I had my computer in front of me, I would ask the internet when was the next time Leap Day was on a Thursday. And that doesn't even necessarily guarantee.
There's a math equation in that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But anyway, we watched Leap Year. And
from 2012. So the theme this month is Adam, Eve, or Steve rom-com. And Leap Year stars Amy Adams, so that counts.
Adam Scott,
that counts. And then Matthew Goode.
Who doesn't count.
Now,
what's Matthew Goode been in?
I don't know.
Like the name, I didn't know that's who this was, but it sounded familiar.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not written down on your cue cards.
No, I got my cue cards for the drafting we're going to do in a minute, but
I honestly haven't seen him in, like, he's a relatively unknown actor to me.
Yeah.
I like other than this film, I don't know. I mean, he sounds very Irish in this
Did
this
you happen
film.
to look up who directed this crap?
Nope.
Okay.
We're not that good yet.
I'll remember one time to bring my laptop.
So Jeff, had you seen this movie before?
I've never heard of this crap. Like I'm really shitting on it, but it wasn't that bad. But I never saw it, never heard of it. Probably never would have watched it.
Right.
If it weren't for it being the only movie called Leap Year.
That's not true though. When I was putting it in on the illegitimate means,
Oh, you found
site,
others?
There was another movie that looked a little bit more interesting, but it was probably
Oh.
subtitled, and I was
A
like,
horror movie called Leap Year would be incredible.
Every 4 years, the leap year demon comes out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he takes a sacrifice, and that adds a day to the calendar.
Hey, we're on to something.
I think this is a good movie.
All right. So, I think I this movie is familiar to me, although I could not have told you other than it takes place in Ireland.
Yeah.
What it's about. I've probably seen it before. It's not that memorable of a
Right.
film. I'm a big. All right, so scale 1 to 10, how big of an Amy Adams fan are you?
I want to be as low as possible without being insulting, right? Like, I have nothing against her.
Okay.
So I'll say a 6. Like, I don't change the channel when she's on, but I
Okay.
also don't go, oh, she's in this, and then watch it.
So this is, I think,
She's inoffensive.
inoffensive. That's not a good.
I don't know how else to describe it. She doesn't.
That's a very backhanded compliment.
No.
And I usually hand those out.
That's your
Right.
thing. But I haven't seen any movies that she really crushes. I mean, my favorite role she's ever done was in Catch Me If You Can.
Okay. Yeah.
I really like her in that.
But that's early Amy.
That's
Adams.
really early
Yeah.
Amy Adams.
That's
But,
not even star
Right.
Amy Adams.
but it's her role
Sure.
that she's in, and it's pretty good, and she does a great job. But that's it.
she's
like
one
I
of the
don't.
flight attendants, right?
No, she's the nurse with the braces.
Okay. Yeah.
And Leonardo DiCaprio woos some 17-year-old girl, much like he does in real life.
Hey,
Well,
life
maybe not. I think he
imitates
waits till
art.
they're 18, but just barely.
This is all opinions here on the podcast. We're not saying Leonardo DiCaprio is a pedophile at all.
I didn't say that.
Disclaimer.
He likes them young. I don't think there's any argument against that.
So, yeah. So, Amy Adams to me is one of those actresses that you can kind of cast in any role. I think.
Okay.
She plays the everyday person well. Like she could. I don't know if you've seen it. I forget where she plays the hillbilly. It's called Hillbilly. Hillbilly
It's
something.
Hillbilly Eulogy, something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. Where her and Glenn Close, where she plays a single mom in a trailer park, plays it pretty admirably. Here she plays a well-off girlfriend.
What would we call a yuppie?
A yuppie. A yuppie.
Well, she's someone who's young.
But
and
she plays
well-to-do.
like in the movie Arrival. She plays a scientist.
Yeah.
And a very capable scientist, very smart.
I have nothing against her as an actress.
No, right. But so like when I watch a movie like this, is because this is, I think, when Amy Adams was still trying to find her leading actress roles. And so she was kind of taking on these projects that probably today she wouldn't take. And I think this is one of those. This is one of those roles that she probably looks back on and says, God, that was all right. I won't do that again. Just because she doesn't strike me as the romantic comedy type. And I don't even know if this was a
So let's
comedy,
get
but-
into that, because that was my first thing. I do think it qualifies as a rom-com, but it
Okay.
does not qualify as funny. So, and what I mean by that is they try, right? And that was
Sure.
my big argument
Sure.
with the Marriage Story 1 is
Yeah.
it wasn't really trying to be a funny movie. It was really
Right.
a drama first.
Right.
And this, it is like the cows get in the way and the car breaks down and she steps in shit. And
Right.
then they have to pretend that they're married and you get the fake kiss. And it basically follows every plot point from every romantic comedy ever.
Yeah.
And to the point where we were watching it, and I said, "Mark, I know what's going to happen," and I was a little off. I got some things off, right? I said, "Well, she's as soon as you meet the handsome guy, like I'm watching the movie, and so she's going to Ireland to propose to her longtime boyfriend, and
on leap year, because that's apparently a tradition
leap day,
in Ireland.
a woman can propose,
Right.
But we live in. Why wouldn't you?"
The year's 2024. This is 2012. This is a long time ago.
That long ago?
12 years ago.
Okay, but the thing
Things
is,
were different.
And so she is getting here, and all I'm waiting for is I'm just looking for the most handsome guy in the room, right? And so she goes into a bar filled with old guys, but the bartender is tall, dark, and handsome. So I'm like, she's falling into that guy, and she's done with her guy, her spouse, or whoever the hell
boyfriend.
He is. Adam Scott.
Yeah.
And I then said, Adam Scott has a mistress, which I was wrong about.
Eh.
I'm a little surprised because when she gets on the phone, oh, he's out right now.
Right.
I swear she was going to head to the hotel to surprise him, and he was going to be there with some other woman.
I mean, the movie sets it up like that.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Which, a little bit of a, pull the rug out from under you. And
That's fine. It shouldn't be predictable.
Right, right.
But I at one point in my life, and I think we've discussed that you like country music and I don't, so don't take offense to this. But I at one point described romantic comedies as the country music of movies.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is there's a particular formula that they all follow. My dog and car and truck, and I'm drunk.
Yep.
And then with romantic comedies, of course, there's an exception on both sides of this.
Sure.
Right. I've seen romantic comedies that don't do this. But it's the whole, and this one doesn't do the trap of I'm pretending to not be someone I'm not, like Made in Manhattan or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or whatever. But it follows that trope where pretty much right away you know what the story is when you hear it's a romantic comedy. There are exceptions. Love Actually, really good, I think.
Yes.
Romantic comedy. Down with Love, which kind of takes those tropes and makes fun of them, as well as They Came Together. Have you ever seen that with Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler?
No.
Oh, I should have
They
picked
Came Together?
They Came Together.
No.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't enjoy it. Never mind. It's a slapstick comedy.
Oh.
But they all follow.
I like Paul Rudd though.
Yeah, Amy Poehler's great too.
Yeah.
And but I'm saying it follows all of those tropes. And the thing about tropes there's a reason they're tropes is because they work. And there are moments in the movie where it was working on me though, where I was like, okay, I kind of feel this little romance they got going on. There's a little chemistry. It's not off the charts or anything, but
I thought their banter was fine.
Yeah.
Right? The back and forth. And
it's
I thought
the whole I hate you and then they fall in love thing.
Right. But like in the movie kind of sets up to where in the beginning where she discovers she goes to Ireland and she gets stranded and she's got to stay in the pub that the guy owns, and he puts her up in this small little room.
She trashes the place. But she finds a picture of a woman who looks very much like Amy Adams, and the guy from the pub. And, he stumbles in, and he's like, what is that? And she's like, who's this? And he yanks it from her. He doesn't want to tell her. I got the feeling that she died. That's what I thought. I thought she was dead.
Right,
like she got hit by a car.
He's grieving. He's this grieving widower. And I thought, okay, cool. And so when it turned out that wasn't it, I was kind of disappointed. But it then did set up some other things at the very end of the film, which I'm on board with. I'm okay with. Yeah. But at the time, I was like, oh, that's disappointing, just because I get why he was angry, right, throughout the film. Like when I'm thinking that he's this widower, I get his hatred for things. I get his hatred for anything happy and bright and all that. And I kind of get the symbolism of heartbreak to that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I really thought that the dead spouse route would have been probably the way to go. But I don't know. What do you think about? Well, let me tell you this: the cinematography in this film was really good.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree, but I will point out some of the blue screen or green screen
Oh,
or
yeah, no.
whatever the fuck they did
right.
was awful.
Yeah.
Really
I mean,
bad.
2012. I don't know how long.
It should have been better than it
should have
was,
been, but
because it was glaringly obvious.
But like also, this movie probably wasn't that big of a budget either.
I agree.
Um,
So shoot it better.
Right.
I think you could
Well, I don't know
find
why-
a blue sky somewhere.
well, right.
Because the shots
Right.
where it is blue screen, most of
You
the
don't
time
need it.
it's not even something that exciting behind them.
Right.
What, it was
It's
a sky. I'm sure you can find some sky.
Well, they went to a fucking castle to shoot this guy behind the castle.
Like, I didn't get that. Like, there's moments in the car where they're
Yeah.
driving in the background.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't bother me because I get it. You're in the car, but the car's not actually moving. So that makes sense. But a lot of the blue screen was like, why? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't, I don't know.
But there's really good shots throughout this film that I'm watching and I'm like, damn, that's pretty good.
Do you think it's because Ireland is just beautiful?
Yes, that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to make a movie about Ireland and it be trash, right?
Like,
and the
visually,
cinematography be
yeah.
trash, right? I mean, there's a ton of great like scenic shots in this where it's hard. Like you're shooting a car going down the road. Well, of course it's going to be beautiful, it's because fucking Ireland.
And there are these little narrow passageways
right.
and fucking cow shit in the road.
Right,
Beautiful.
But like, there's the scene where she's drunk at the wedding and goes and sits by the water, and the moonlight creates the silhouette of their two characters on the backdrop of the water, and you can't really make out, what they're wearing or anything, but it's just their silhouette. And in another comedic scene. But the cinematography was really good, is because I was like, wow, so that's a really cool idea
this is
for
a
a shot.
romantic looking
Right.
backdrop.
And so and I think that's really what kept me engaged, is that right when I thought the movie was kind of hitting a lull or a drag, there'd be some beautiful scenic shots. And I've never been to Ireland, so like, cool. I'll look at Ireland. You brought up when we were watching it, when she stumbles upon the pub, the Banshees of Inisherin, look very similar.
The stone walls and
Right.
yeah.
Right. And so I do agree that it's hard to make a bad looking film about Ireland, as long as you're in Ireland.
Right.
But here I thought it elevated the movie a bit.
Yeah, the castle looked like it was really there.
Yeah.
So that was good. So this movie is basically the rom-com version of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It is. We could have put this in Road Trip Month easily.
Yeah.
It's I'm trying to get to Dublin, and everything that can go wrong goes wrong. The car breaks down.
Right.
Her airplane gets detoured.
Right.
The cows are there. I've mentioned the cows. There's a big thing about fucking cows in the road, and then what else happens? Like they go to.
She gets she takes a boat.
Yeah. The boat was hilarious.
Right.
Dude. That scene just felt like from a different movie.
Right.
And that's where I think like I can point at this as being a comedy, because that scene I think was meant to be funny.
Really? You think?
I can't imagine someone putting that in their movie unironically.
Right.
Right? Like in this movie, for her to essentially for 3 minutes of screen time be in the perfect storm, the movie, like she gets a boat and then you see
it's the
she's
smallest boat
at sea.
Right.
And the storm and the squalls and all the words that have to do with shit going down on the ocean is happening.
Right.
And they cut to her like in the thing. It's just ridiculous. It had to be a joke.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I didn't find it very
That
funny.
does-
I thought
I know. I didn't say it was funny.
The boat was gonna sink.
I didn't say it was funny. There's a difference between
Right.
funny and trying to be funny.
Right.
This movie's trying, and that's why I feel comfortable calling it a comedy, but it does not accomplish it pretty much at all.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really remember
Yeah, there was
any laughs
Right.
to be had.
I mean, there was kind of like, little quips that I was like, ha. But like, it wasn't like.
I found most of it to be eye-rolling. Like, the whole heads I win, tails you lose, that's shit I did in high school. And I'm in my 40s. Like,
yeah, but did it work?
it worked in the movie.
Did it work for you?
No, it's never worked. Not once. I probably said
disappointing.
it wrong. But my point is like there was a lot of things that I rolled my eyes at
Sure.
because they were following so closely to the tropes of
Yeah.
rom-coms that I was just like, here, because there were a few moments where I'm like, shit, this is going to be a shit fest. And then
No,
there's
right.
the charisma between the characters.
Right.
It kind of works. And then the tropes of where they have to pretend to be married. Like every rom-com
Right.
does that.
Right.
And there were a couple moments I thought that Kiss the Girl from
Yeah.
That's the one. Very good.
Right.
I thought that was going to break out, especially I thought at that scene you were talking about with the body of water behind them.
Yeah.
But specifically at the dinner table where the Irish guy's like, kiss the girl. And I was like, please do it. And they didn't because they don't have the rights to it. But, the eye rollingness is because I guess how on the nose things get.
Yeah.
Because when they get to that bed and breakfast and the matriarch is there, she's like, I could tell they weren't married, so I kicked them out, and I rolled my eyes because I'm like, this is where we're going.
Right.
Like,
No,
it just was so.
I agree. A lot of it is very on the nose, but there's also like, there was probably the worst scene to me in the film, where they're both laying in the bed, and they had already kissed, and they're really. And it looked like
They're horny as well.
Well, it looked like he was jerking off. It looked like she
that
was
would have
jerking
been
off.
funny. Now that would have been a comedy if you had seen that and they're both facing the other way and you just see their hands moving under the covers.
Right. But I thought that's like
That
'cause,
would have
like,
been good.
They're kind of like breathing heavy, and it's like
They were
slow
horny.
motion looking at each other. I'm just like, what is this? What is this scene?
He's being respectful. He knows that she has a man, and it's Adam Scott reprising his character
Yes,
from Step Brothers.
Right. I
mean-
Adam Scott's every time like he shows up as the other guy, like the boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's a sleazebag or some shit. And-
Well, I mean, but then you look at Parks and Rec, and he's nothing but likable.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he can turn it on. Right.
Yeah, but from a majority of his stuff, he shows up as the sleazebag. But I thought he kind of
he wasn't even that bad. Like of a guy.
no. It's just
I kind of appreciated that it wasn't that he was a dirtbag and cheating on her.
Right.
He just wasn't as romantic as she was wanting.
well, everybody's got their thing, right? Everybody likes what they like, type of people. I don't know how you don't pay attention to Amy Adams.
You're a rich prick.
Yeah, but even with money, I still don't see how you don't pay attention to Amy Adams. She's one. We just discussed how likable she is.
Yeah.
Two, we just discussed how, like, you could throw her anywhere, and she gets the job done. Oh, you want her to be a stay-at-home mom? Cool, let's do that. Oh, you want her to make millions of dollars selling real estate or staging shit? Cool, let's do that. Oh, she can be a scientist? Yeah, let's go study fucking aliens.
Okay, you're talking about Amy Adams, the actress, not the character in the film.
No, but
The character
Right.
just does the staging.
right. But I just like I somebody that looks like Adam Scott in this movie. Very just knobbish.
Ooh.
He just looks like a boob.
Okay.
He does, but his character just looks like a boob. He like shows up and he's got this weird fucking haircut and
He
it's
looked good. Pink tie.
blazer. He looked like
It was rolling.
right. I just don't know. I don't know how
Like
I don't know how you don't pay attention to Amy Adams.
I thought his portrayal of his character was very normal. Like I mean he was rich,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But his inattentiveness to her, which was like looking at his phone.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
what does she see in that guy though?
That's more of the problem,
Right.
right? Is that she's not real, or he's not really her type.
right.
Like you can see why he's with her,
yeah.
and maybe even thinks of her maybe as a trophy wife. But why is she into him other than that he's a cardiologist?
Yeah,
and
and
he's
has
rich?
money, right.
And that's the only thing she ever says about him when
And-
she's talking about her.
Right.
He's a cardiologist.
But then she also has her own business So it's like, okay, so are we meant to believe that she is well off because of him, or is she well off because of what she does? And I think that's important, is because it allows the viewer to question the relationship.
Yeah.
So I did that's a problem to me in the film, because I was like, why is she so desperate? And like when Matthew Goode's character says that she's desperate, he's correct. She's flying to Ireland to meet this guy because he hasn't proposed to her in 4 years, and
Which is such a stupid thing to do.
right.
But I guess like she's trying to be romantic because that's what she's looking for.
Right, romance.
But here's the thing.
But Matthew Goode isn't
He's not
right.
romantic at all.
Right.
He's cold
Right.
and distant, and
What was one of the only romantic thing I think he did, or throughout the movie, was they cooked the meal together.
they cooked the meal together, and that was just held together by a montage.
Right.
Oh, this food does taste good. And then he punches out those people that stole her stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if that's romantic, but it's certainly if
heroic.
you're looking for
Sure.
a guy
It's a
who can
redeeming
handle
quality
his shit.
to his coldness.
But I agree. I don't think that he's even that romantic.
No.
I think maybe she just loves Ireland and just wanted to move to Ireland.
I just think like she's just got some shit she's got to figure out.
Yeah. And
She needs to go to therapy or something.
yeah, with these movies, and a lot of times, especially the movies where they're dating one person and then they fall for someone else,
Right.
that's what it always comes down to me. Like people that are dating someone who's married, and then you're going to divorce your wife and then marry me. Let's say they do that. You're marrying someone who is a known cheater now.
Right.
Like they're going to take off on you it's just like,
I mean, Amy Adams in this movie is falling in love with the guy that she's trying to get her to her boyfriend.
right.
I mean, she's like actively engaged in cheating-esque behavior.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she does anything particularly wrong to her relationship with Adam Scott.
I don't know. If I found out that she was sleeping in the bed with that dude and like they had just kissed and it was very romantic, that wasn't romantic.
That was
Very romantic kiss. I'd be questioning it, right?
Okay, that's fair.
I'd be questioning my relationship with that lady.
Well, yeah. Okay, fair.
I was just saying.
I give up.
Anyways, it's a very kind of storybook ending where he
like, what the fuck was this dude thinking? I know they're going for romance.
Yeah. But I mean, what do you?
But she gets there.
Yeah.
She does this thing about
yeah.
the chicken being dry because it's a callback to some other story I don't fucking remember. And he comes out and like, who said this shit? And she's like, I did. I flew all the way from wherever the hell I'm from, and I want to not make plans with you. Like she's doing her romance thing. And this dude cannot read a room. He just takes off.
He might be autistic.
I don't think that that's fair, right? Because I think in that situation,
I mean,
he just takes off. And then he comes back. Oh, I had to go get something.
right.
Well, then why not be like, hey, hold up one sec. I'll be right back.
Right. Hey, I appreciate
I'm going to
that.
go get something.
So I think that's the entire movie.
And then
though.
she goes to a cliff.
Right.
What is she going to do at the cliff if he doesn't show up?
It's poor editing.
No, maybe it isn't. Because if he doesn't show up at that moment,
Yeah.
what is she going to do?
Okay.
Why are we at the cliff?
Okay. No, I agree. Okay. Yeah. No.
Is it over for her? Like, that's another red flag. So therapy is the answer here.
All right. So as we've talked about this movie does a lot of subversion of the tropes and just kind of the generalities of a romantic film by having Matthew Goode's character be kind of this standoffish prick type. By flipping the role of the romantic one. Like Amy Adams is constantly in the film trying to be the romantic one. She's chasing and that's typically the male character in
Right.
in a romance film. So okay, so I as we talk about it, I can appreciate more of what this film is doing. And it couldn't have been longer than an hour 40, right?
Right. It wasn't that long.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for the runtime, it probably accomplished a lot of what it was setting out to do.
Yeah.
Acting's fine in it. It's nice to look at. It's not very funny,
No.
but
Like even so, that I think is the biggest sin
Yeah.
is the lack of funny because I do again think they tried because you had all the old guys in
Right.
the bar
Right,
and the
right.
running gag of what day is it unlucky to do whatever,
Right.
and they just do it over and over and over and it never
It's
lands.
funny, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you recommend this one?
No, and it's not bad. It's
Right.
just
Yes.
forgettable.
Yes.
It just is. It's a passing. Like if you rented this with your sweetie and had a glass of wine, it'd probably be a good evening.
I rented this with my sweetie.
Did
I
she
have
watch
a
it with you?
Diet Dr. I watched
Oh,
it with you. You
watched it
dumbass.
with me. I'm your sweetie.
Anyway, I also don't recommend this. It's fine. And honestly, it's not the cardinal sin of film where it's just fine. I think a lot of movies would kill themselves to be
It's
fine.
not boring.
Right? No, it's not.
Yeah.
And I think that's has more to do with probably the leads than anything else, the writing and all that.
The scenery.
Yes. But at the end of the day, it's not something that I'm going to look to put on, right? I'm not going to seek this movie out for just random reasons to, like, if I'm sitting on the couch, I'm not just going to be like, hey, let me go watch Leap Year, I do think it's.
Do you think if it was on,
No, I turn it.
you change the channel?
Yeah.
Me too.
No, I mean, it's because it's not like you said, it's not memorable. It's very forgettable. Amy Adams has certainly done better movies. So if I'm looking to watch an Amy Adams film, this is not going to be the one I pick. Maybe if I'm looking to watch a Matthew Goode film, I don't know.
Who the hell watches
Who the
Matthew
fuck
Goode?
is Matthew
I
Goode?
swear, I wish I had my laptop because I swear I know that name. He's been in some shit I've seen. And when we get to drafting, there's a name of a director on here that I was like, that name sounds familiar. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, we did. Like, how have you done that before where since we've podcasted together, seen a director or someone's name, you're like, I know that name, Patrick Loser or whoever.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and you click and you go, oh, right, we
Right,
watched
right,
Lockout. or whatever.
Right.
That happened while I was looking
Okay,
at my movies. So
okay.
get excited.
Full circle. Anyways, well, it's draft night.
Yeah.
And so for the month of March,
March Madness, baby.
we are selecting films that take place either on a basketball court or are about basketball.
It's a basketball movie.
basketball movies, right? March Madness, college basketball.
What is the over-under that I selected? Basketball. One of my all-time favorite
You
movies.
told me last week you were not selecting
I
basketball.
definitely wouldn't throw my pearls before swine.
Anyways, are we sure March isn't a 5-week month?
We have no idea, and we have no way to check right now.
I do. I have.
I'm really confident it is not.
Okay. All right. We're gonna be confident together.
I am 99% confident.
And then if all right. So if it okay,
because normally when we see it's a 5-week month, we
There's-
discuss
there's
and
not-
agree on the fifth.
right, but there's not
move.
typically two months that have back to back 5 weeks.
That's the other thing.
yeah.
So I
Okay.
feel comfortable. And worst case scenario, next week
We can watch it if it turns
we'll
out
watch basketball.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
it.
that's
it.
the me losing my bet because then I have to hear you talk about how much you don't like basketball.
I haven't seen this since I was a kid.
It's awesome.
But I remember it being funny. But
love
anyways,
basketball.
do you want to go first? You want me to go 1st
I'll go first because I don't want you to over pick anything. So my first one is a movie that I've been wanting to see forever.
Okay.
I am a Seattle Supersonics fan, a basketball team that does not exist, but they used to.
So
And
you're a Ray Allen fan.
I am a Ray Allen fan, so you know precisely
See-
where I'm going with this.
You took one of mine. That's okay. Keep
Good. That's why I wanted to go first.
Okay.
Well, if you want to go,
No. Pick. I got four on the list. So you pick.
Okay.
Pick the one you're gonna pick.
we're gonna watch Denzel Washington,
Yeah.
Ray Allen, Spike Lee directed. He Got Game from 1998.
Yep.
So
Good. I've never seen it.
I've not either,
Yeah.
but being a Ray Allen fan, it's like
That's
And then
that,
I was
that's
like,
the
oh,
last
shit.
reason that I think anybody would watch that film.
right
for.
because it's Spike Lee and Denzel Washington.
Right.
I mean, that's what.
Hey Jeff, why'd you watch
Malcolm
that movie?
X?
Well, it was because Ray Allen's David
Ray
Grohl.
Allen's fucking in it. That tells you, I watch movies for Van Damme, not for Scorsese. So
Right. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Scratch that one off.
maybe you'll pick one of mine.
So my first one is going to be from the year 2023. No surprise there.
Hell, we're watching Hustle.
No, I already told I already told you that I'm not picking that film, even though I've seen it and it was pretty good. It is directed and starring. We could have picked this one.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Nope, Ben Affleck.
Oh,
Air. It's the movie about Michael Jordan's shoe deal.
you do this to me every month.
Why?
Every month.
It's a good.
Every month.
What's wrong with that? We talked about this
Okay.
last week.
Who do I hate the most in basketball?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. So I want to watch a shit about his shoes? That's so unappealing. I don't want to watch a movie about shoes, much less the shoes of a guy I don't like.
But Ben Affleck is a very good director.
I agree. I like what's the one that he did with the gangsters and the shooting and the
Argo.
no.
No, I know it's not Argo.
Damn, I can't think of the name of it.
I wish we had a computer.
I wish we had a computer.
Anyways, no,
That's-
he's a good director. It got a lot of love when it came out. I think it came out a little bit too early for awards. Like it came out very early last year. Had it come out later, maybe in the summer or early fall, I think it would have got more love in award season. But I've heard it's good.
All right,
So
fine.
so is Air.
I would never watch this movie outside of this very circumstance.
The one that you're about to pick?
No.
Oh,
Fucking Air. Shit. Well, time for
Okay.
me to save the month.
All
So let's get on our. Okay, I did 1998. I don't have any 80s movies. Damn it. I fucked up. All right. So we're going to go back a few more years to 1994.
Okay.
Directed by William Friedkin.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
Oh, probably do.
He directed. That's
Oh.
one where I
He directed the Trimmer. No,
he did a movie we've seen
Yeah.
for the pod.
yeah. But was it this year or last year?
Probably last year.
Oh,
Yeah, it was last year
I
because it was
don't
on my top 5. He directed Killer Joe.
Oh, okay.
And it stars Nick Nolte
Okay.
and the big Shaqdis himself, Shaquille O'Neal. It's Blue Chips.
What the fuck?
What?
I've never heard of that movie.
Oh, it's one of the first movies that comes to mind when I think of basketball movies.
Really?
I've never seen it
Then why does it come to mind?
because I remember seeing Shaq dunk basketballs, and I like Shaq. Unlike Michael Jordan, I like Shaq. And it's directed by William Friedkin, whose Killer Joe kicks ass. It might be the best movie we watch all year.
Yeah, it might be.
I'll tell you my other two later.
Okay.
Let me guess, 2024.
Nope. I'm gonna go. We're actually gonna watch a movie about, like has basketball in it.
Oh, good. Because already you like mine have basketball. He Got Game is basketball. Blue Chips is about basketball, not shoes.
Air is about basketball.
Air is
and
about
shoes.
shoes and fashion. We might as well watch The Devil Wears Prada.
Also, not a bad movie.
Not a basketball.
From 2020, we're gonna watch another Ben Affleck starring film, The Way Back. He plays a former pro basketball.
I should have let
coach.
you pick He Got Game.
But he's an alcoholic, and he has one of the things is like part of a court order. He's got to coach.
It's just Mighty Ducks. We
high
should have watched
school-
Mighty Ducks.
Oh, I mean, pick hockey month,
It's
and we
basically Mighty Ducks.
will. I mean, it might be, but it's The Way Back, starring Ben Affleck. He didn't direct it, but he stars in it.
I'm so upset at you. All right. My honorable mentions was Coach Carter,
That was also on my list.
starring Samuel L. Jackson, just because I needed one in case I ran out. And then actually The Sixth Man, which is a Wayans movie. It's directed by Randall Miller. It's about Marlon Wayans, I think, is the one in this, and his brother dies on the court, and he gives him like ghost powers. I also was toying with Joanna Man, but I did not want to get into the discussion of trans athletes. So I was like, that's too serious for a dumb guy like me. So
I feel like we could have a couple of those episodes a year, where we touch on things that we probably shouldn't speak on.
There you go. That's the key thing. It's like there's some things I feel comfortable talking about, and then there's things that I have no business discussing, and that's one.
Yeah, no, my entire list.
I can't see it.
I know you can't see it, but the people on YouTube can. We picked. Oh no, we didn't pick Coach Carter, but that was
okay. Right.
So it was Air. He got Game. The Way
I'm
Back.
kind of glad that I didn't get to Coach Carter because I didn't have any real want to see it. It just was again.
Have you seen it before?
Case. No.
Oh really? I remember it being a pretty good movie.
I'm not big into sports movies, to be honest. Like I just
So
generally.
what the fuck are we doing?
It's basketball. The whole point is to do something that I wouldn't normally do.
Got it.
Right. I mean, I was
It just
White
sounds
Man
like a
Can't Jump. I thought of
right.
like I love that movie as a kid.
That wouldn't have been a bad one.
Yeah, but it's a little too on the nose for me for basketball month.
Anyways, so we're gonna run it down. We're gonna he got Game, Air. What's the third one?
Blue Chips,
and then The Way Back. We'll round out March Madness month here on the podcast. If you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, you can do so at Movie Draft House. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube where you're watching us. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button when it pops up so you don't miss any future content here in the podcast. The podcast releases weekly every Thursday.
Yeah.
On your favorite podcast streaming
Heart
platform.
attack or not. It's
Heart attack or not. We're doing it, man. Lay it up in the bed. You
recording from the fucking hospital.
Oxygen, intubated.
No, it went in my nose. I fortunately didn't need anything more severe than that.
But anyways, again, want to shout out the music this month. The one-man show, Troy, he's from New Jersey. He's doing big things. Appreciate him letting us use his music here on the podcast. The song is Gemini. Hit the show notes, get all the links to his social media accounts. Again, appreciate him. If you want to follow Jeff on Twitter and tell him, hey man, you should have picked Air Bud.
I should have picked Air Bud.
You could find him at Podcast by Jeff.
Man. Well, if you want to contact Mark and be like, hey, bitch, you could have picked Most Vertical Primate, even though it's a skateboarding movie and not a basketball movie, has about as much to do with basketball as Air, you can do that. You can find him on Twitter at I Heard You Liked.
Most Vertical Primate?
Yeah, MVP. Real movie, not a joke.
I feel like I should have watched that movie.
For basketball month, we'll watch. We could do Animals Doing Human Shit month. That's actually not a bad idea.
I'm picking all of the monkey movies.
The most recent series?
Yeah, just
of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Because
we would just watch all four. Of those
just do all
films.
four of them.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
We should. All right.
I love.
Let's do it.
I've only seen the first two. I haven't watched War yet, but I was going to get to
and
it.
The
now
fourth
that
one's
the
coming
sequel.
out in May.
Yeah.
I think it's May or June.
Yeah.
Let's put it in the queue.
We'll forget about it later.
Sure. Anyways, you got any words of wisdom?
Nope.
All right. We'll catch you next time.